Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I just have a short unboxing video for you guys from a package I received Saturday from my friend Scott Gull. Now, anyone who watched my ColecoVision Defender review video would likely already well be aware that I was looking at a possible serious deterioration of my living situation at that point. And I was not really planning on doing any videos again, but then I got a break and found out that wasn't going to be the case. So I was able to get back to the regular schedule of doing videos pretty quick. So this would have been done quite a bit earlier than now, but I just barely scrambled to catch up on yesterday's review video, and well, we're more or less back on schedule. Anyway, this is just going to be a brief one. Again, it's from my friend Scott Gull, who is extremely generous. Here we go. From him to me. And, well, Scott's one of my friends who's, it seems like I've got more than one friend who happens to be quite generous in the retro gaming community at this point. Sometimes wonder if something might not be wrong with them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving, but well, some guys seem to take it a lot further than some others would, is all I'm getting at. Doesn't bother me, but it is something that I sometimes wonder about. Anyway, here we go. As you guys know, I usually unbox them first. Just habit at this point. We have the Atari 5200 Congo Bongo. This was supposed to have been kind of Sega's answer to Nintendo's Donkey Kong, and although it's not the world's best regarded game in every respect, it can be pretty fun and decent, and this is actually a nice one to have. Then we have the Atari 5200 Soccer. Ooh, stop doing the glare, thank you. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I will give it a shot and see what I can do with it. Of course. And we have Atari 5200 Joust, which is a very good game. I'm pretty sure I will enjoy this one. Also, this one has a nice label on it, too. My friend Joseph Bosner had also sent me a copy of this, so I ended up, this one had the better label, and I can't test either one anyway. So his was the one which I kind of took over to and got $1.50 for at my local Game Exchange retailer, so not a bad deal. Hey, with duplicates I do have to. I mean, a lot of times I might offer them like I did with those two I couldn't get rid of up there to you guys for a special offer, for a trade, for anybody who might be interested in that, and sometimes a lot of times I get rid of them at my local Game Exchange retailer, but if they're on a do not buy list, I have to get creative. Or I'll send them to a friend who wants them if I have any. And well, to me, in any case, as long as it goes to a good home where it's going to be played with and taken care of, I don't care. And somebody say, ooh, well, your local Game Exchange retailer? Well, that may take some time, but on average, most games that go up there likely will be found by somebody who wants them, bought and given some nice tender loving care, you know, and kept that way. It just takes a longer process, you know. So that's one reason why keeping it on is an option with that. Okay, and then there's the Atari 5200 Defender. Wish this label was a bit better, but hey, if it still plays as a good game, not going to bother me. Not really. Let's see. Then we have the ColecoVision Sub-Rock, which is going to be an interesting one. I enjoy games like Sub-Rock, and this one actually says for the ColecoVision, and the Atom Family Computer System, which is how some of the little bit later games for the ColecoVision were done. And it's actually pretty nice label and everything, and looks good. Does look like I may have to give it a bit of a cleaning and get it working, but other than that, this is a nice one. Then there are two which are going to be a bit of a pain in the neck. You see, you guys probably can't see very much on it, but this is the Electric Company Word Fun. And unfortunately, I forget from what I read, but it either will not play or plays with some issues on my Mattel Intellivision 2, so mostly due to a change in the exec software that they did trying to lock out other games, which primarily locked out about 5 ColecoVision games. Like some others, I've always been under the impression, that it may well have been instead a lockout chip. But apparently the exec or executive software, I opened up my console, took only 2 screws and couldn't find anything, so I went online, looked on a Google search, and then searched through YouTube and couldn't find anything on how to find and remove that lockout chip. And as I always say, I'm much better at taking things apart than putting them back together. Well, fortunately, I managed to get my Mattel Intellivision 2 back together, since this was not a very difficult operation. So anyway, apparently the lockout chip thing may be completely a myth. Or maybe not. Maybe I just, I don't know for sure. In any case, when they made that chip, from what I found and read about, when they made that change with the exec software for that, even some of the Intellivision On Video Game Console Alliance owned games were affected. Not very many of them, and I don't remember if it's supposed to be with the Electric Company Math Fun that this just won't play, or just plays with some issues as opposed to playing it on, say, Mattel Intellivision 1 or an iNTV Intellivision 3. But, not supposed to work properly. One of the other interesting things I found out doing that is, I was kind of worried about ever trying to unplug my Mattel Intellivision 2's controllers because they've been plugged into it since before I got it. And well, sometimes when controllers have been in the controller ports for a very long time, trying to unplug them could potentially cause some damage. But in this case, I had no choice because I found out, even with the 2 bottom screws off, without those controllers out of the controller ports, they're still holding the 2 parts of the console casing down together. So had to do it, and well, turns out that they both came out of it just fine. I plugged them back up afterwards, and they came back up and played like they're supposed to. So fortunately, they hadn't been galvanized into the sockets or anything like that. So that was a nice thing to discover, and I also found out how to remove them since I had to figure that out. It's actually pretty easy. I used to think it's that you wiggle them until you get them up from front to back. What you do is you take a couple thumb and finger or 2 and wiggle them from side to side for just a bit until they gradually come up and out. And that was no real problem. So I'll show you guys what that looks like at some point. Finally, we have the Intellivision home video game console line Donkey Kong, which anybody who knows about the Mattel Intellivision 2 will know this definitely is not going to play on my Mattel Intellivision 2 without modification or such. But, since I'm here and don't have any real big obligations except for a couple of things I take care of each month, I've already been thinking about not getting a Mattel Intellivision 1, but a Mattel Intellivision 3 for games like these, which I am not going to be able to get to play with my Mattel Intellivision 2. So I'll probably be looking into investing in that, or who knows. Knowing how he is, my friend Scott Golak might actually come up with one that he finds that I will be able to work a deal with him on or something. As it goes, I was thinking more along the lines of getting the INT Intellivision 3 rather than a Mattel Intellivision 1 because, well, Mattel Intellivision 1 was the first model, would be much older, at least by some, and would more than likely be more prone to present some issues already, whereas an INT Intellivision 3 console would probably end up, it's basically the same thing as the one, just, reworked to be newer and a bit nicer looking and everything, and I've read that it might have just a few features that you don't find on the one at times, and it would be younger overall and would be unlikely to have any real issues with it, or at least far less than it one, so I'll be looking into an INTV Intellivision 3 in due time. In any case, I'd love to get it done because I know most people don't think too well of this particular port of Donkey Kong, but I'm kind of like my friend Brian Puddin. I may not have played it before, but I've seen him do it, and it doesn't seem to be all that bad. Sure, it's not the world's greatest, but it could still definitely be perfectly playable if you just learn to live with the few shortcomings it has. Anyway, that's a big thank you to my friend Scott Gull for sending me down this care package again. If I'm not mistaken, this makes 5 now. He's going to end up completely funding all the games and everything for this channel if he keeps up like a lunatic like this, but oh well, I'm not going to complain much. Well, maybe not completely funding, but at least completely supplying this channel with a fair deal of its game content after a while, so no skin off my nose. Thank you very much, Scott, for the wonderful gifts. We're getting closer to a point where I'm going to be able to get my Atari 5200 modified and a working, reliable controller from my friend Aaron Spinks. So, it shouldn't be too terribly much longer, a little time, before I'm able to go ahead and start introducing Atari 5200 gaming with the BMK Retro Gaming channel. So, be looking for that in maybe the next couple months or so. I'd say next 2 to 3 months, tops, that should be something that we're getting into. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what's in that, and get caught up on it, because I was feeling kind of like, yeah, if I hadn't had all this to worry about, otherwise I would have already unboxed this, so I wanted to get to it this morning. Anyway, if you guys enjoy my channel's content, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions in the comment section below. You guys take care, have a nice morning, and I will see you again in my next video.